up, weirdos? It's your boy Raindrop, Raindog, Rain Drizzle, my co-host, co-captain, Cole, conspirator, Uncle Juju.
What is up, babies?
Welcome back to BXTV, aka Back from Hell, your Spotify and YouTube podcast where you didn't know everything you needed to know. And we're coming here straight from the lair, you know what I'm saying? Welcome back, everybody. Hope everybody's well. Juju, it's good to see you.
Good to see you too, man. I'm glad to be back.
Yeah, always, man. Always. It's a good time chopping it up with the boys. If you guys aren't aware, we like to do a thing here every week called Comic Book of the Week. We basically put a comic book on the chopping block that came out this past week on a scale of 1 to 10 for the art and the story. And we kind of just let you know if it's worth putting on your pull list or not. You know what I mean? So, that being said, we have Destro #1 by Image, a new miniseries. It's by Dan Waiters. I'm not sure how to say his name, but he's the guy who writes Creature of the Black Lagoon. So if you've been reading that, you should know this is gonna be good. You know what I mean? There's no reason not to be excited. The artists are Andre Bresson and Adriano Lucas. Yeah, and a fuck ton of covers. So I'm not gonna go over all those artists.
Yeah.
But yeah, if you guys aren't aware, the Energon universe has been crossing over with Transformers and G.I. Joe since the beginning, and they've been doing a bunch of miniseries, Cobra Commander and Duke, where Destro has appeared throughout it a little bit, and I believe he's appeared in the I haven't read the Transformers series, bad on me, but I've read all the G.I. Joe minis, other than the newest one, Scarlet or whatever it's called. But yeah, I was very excited for Destro. You know, minus the writer and the great artist on it, everything I've seen with him so far, I was like, yeah, I need more of this guy. Like, he's an illegal arms dealer who's just fucking crazy. So
Yeah. And taking over a country apparently.
yeah, well, if you're not
Start
a
with
yeah, if you're not aware, he basically Cobra Commander in his book hired him to basically make a bunch of these soldiers powered by the Energon or whatever, and he tests a bunch of these like self-controlled Energon soldiers
yeah.
on a country that's like trying to liberate itself. And the problem with the soldiers are they shoot anything with a face. Like they were shooting the bad guys and the good guys. So that was one of the big problems. And basically this whole issue revolves around Destro setting up a meeting like a weapon show, like a private weapon
Yeah.
show.
Like,
And he invited a bunch of people, and one team of people didn't show up, and that was the Crimson Twins. They're doing some fucked up shit for the government on the other side of the world, and they end up bombing the
country.
Yeah, well, not the country. It wasn't the country. They were bombing the weapon show.
Yeah, the expo.
Yeah, they were bombing the expo, and they found out though that like most of the bombs were duds, and I think that is because they want the Energon. Like I feel like they weren't trying to destroy or kill him because they need him.
Yeah.
And I think this book is gonna basically be the Crimson Twins trying to get control of Destro's Energon source, and I think it's also gonna be Destro kind of like, because at the end of like in that book he also kind of like he straight up tells Cobra Commander like, I don't fucking work for you, bro. Like,
Yeah.
you know what I mean? This is like, we're doing shit for each other. Like, I don't work for you. Don't tell me what to fucking do. And I think it's gonna be a lot of Destro like trying to just get the Energon to himself and away from Cobra Commander and everybody else.
Yes.
So I definitely think we're gonna see maybe the rise and possible fall in Destro, like,
And rise again.
yeah, you know, like I definitely think this is gonna be really good. The art was solid as fuck.
Yes.
it was just a really easy read all the way through. It was the only thing I read that I read immediately when it came out. I put everything else to the side just because I was being lazy, but I was really glad I read this immediately. Um, and I like that there's because I don't know a whole lot about the GI Joe like lore. I like that
Yeah,
like Destro has this like ancient like family of like power that
yeah,
he like tomb that he goes to like get answers from like the spirits, but they don't show any spirits or
yeah,
anything. Kind of just seems like it's like a thing that like him and his family do. So I like that
yeah.
they don't like really make that like a oh there's like spirits and shit, but it's more so just like he's he's kind of on a power trip type deal, like, and this is
Yeah.
his lore. You know what I mean? Like, he thinks he's like meant to do this type of shit. Like, that's what I
And
got
also
from
like
it.
I liked the touch that he didn't put himself as like the main leader of the country. He put his cousin.
Yeah,
So
yeah,
there's like a Game of Thrones power play being demonstrated where he's basically and to be fair, the prime minister was kind of basically a old school fat like communist dictator of this country, so like yeah, you're gonna go down in a coup, bro. Like
yeah.
that's just what's gonna happen. you know so like I didn't feel but so bad about like the military coup, but then as soon as the robot showed up it was like okay, this is a game changer right here. um and I like the fact that when they show up, they don't explicitly say that they have this bug that is like functionally wrong with them. You just kind of assume like, oh shit, like
Well, no, they say it
you
later
know,
in the book that was
yeah, they do. But when they first show up, you didn't really kind of pick up on the fact that these things might not be completely
no, but
functional.
I
You know?
will say if you would have finished Cobra Commander, you would have known these things were a thing. Like,
Yeah.
like this, they've been like kind of established. But I get what you're saying. Did you ever finish all of Cobra Commander and Duke?
No, I think I'm a couple issues behind.
All right, yeah, you definitely.
I don't know exactly how far behind I am. I couldn't tell you right now. I could probably tell you off stream.
All right, I
Like
was just
having
wondering.
the app out.
I was just curious. You got to do yourself the favor, man. Read those. You know what I mean? Great fucking
Oh
stories.
yeah.
But
Oh yeah, and I mean,
I would probably. I don't know though, man. I definitely would put Destro on your pull list. I think it's only going to be 5 issues, so there's no reason not to read it. You know what I mean? And I guarantee
yeah,
you, the first printing is going to get like 4 or 5 reprints. So there will be opportunities for you to pick up another copy of issue number 1. I guarantee it. So make sure you do that. I would probably rate Destro. Uh, Probably like a 9.5, a solid 9.5
okay,
intro book. Like I love the art. I love where they're going. I love that there's like two different problems kind of going on at the same time and they're like relevant to each other cuz the middle of the problem is Destro. Like,
yeah,
so I think they're doing a really good job. And like I said, the writing and the art are not shy like short rate from each other.
yeah. It's an interconnected score, basically, is what you're saying. It's just both combined, make it a 9.5.
Yeah, for sure. For sure. At least in my eyes.
Yeah, no, I gotta agree with you on that. Um, there were certain like the whole thing with the girl that's sitting there going like, oh, for a country that's just been taken over, this is so beautiful. I kind of liked the fact that they don't show this country as like a desolate like poor, when you think of Eastern Europe, like just industrialized. It's very like serene and kind of foresty, and
Yeah, yeah.
like I like the fact that they took a different approach to a dictatorship as opposed to just like what every American think of, which is like gray. You know?
Yeah, no, I can appreciate that as well. I definitely can. But yeah, dudes, I definitely think everybody should pull this book. It's really good, and
Yeah.
it kind of leads into our next topic, which is which cartoon had the best crossovers. And if you don't know what we mean by that, our dumbasses watch cartoons all the time as adults, which
Yep.
I know some of you out there do. And I definitely feel like the older cartoons, like early 2000s and stuff,
Yeah.
were like the best for crossovers. I feel like so much was coming out and they just had them left and right, like even Fairy Odd
Yeah.
Parents and Jimmy Neutron had a crossover.
Yep, that was the first one I was actually gonna say. You took it right out my mouth.
That
Like as soon as you said crossover, that was one of the first things that popped in my head.
I think that was a cool one, but I don't think it was the best. I think that was a cool one. I really do. Like,
I will say I gotta give them credit for maintaining both art styles throughout because it wasn't just like Scooby Doo where they meet up the Harlem Globetrotters and like
see,
they
but
go on an
that's
adventure. It was like it was the style of Jimmy Neutron and it was the style of Fairly Odd Parents and it was evenly balanced.
See, and I think that's where I think me and you have a disagreement on that. I didn't like that it was split. I thought it should have been kept to just one. I thought it was a cool idea. I personally wish it was just
Yeah.
like done in one style. Like I wish like the intro of the movie or show, whatever it was like, oh, this is how it starts, and then they get sucked into this world, and now it looks like this. So, but
Yeah.
I get what you're saying. It was a cool idea. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It definitely was, and I'm not
And I think
hating on it. I think it's definitely top 5 for like original like early 2000s crossovers. You know what I
yeah.
mean?
I also did stumble upon the Grim Adventures of the Kids Next Door,
Oh
which
yeah.
um I did not actually see that episode when it aired. I watched various clips of it on YouTube, and I'm kicking myself for not being prescient enough to have watched it on a Friday night in 1990, whatever.
Yeah. Well, if it was Grim Adventures of Kids Next Door, that was probably early 2000s. That wasn't the 90s.
yeah,
That stuff didn't come out in the 90s.
yeah, you're right.
Trust me,
I mean,
dude. I
um,
that was my shit. But no, yeah, I watched the fuck out of it. I watched the fuck out of it. The one I was gonna bring up actually aired in the year 2000, so it's probably the goat of crossovers, honestly. That's Static Shock, in my opinion. I think
mm,
Static Shock executed crossing crossing him over better than anybody. Like I think, especially DC animated wise, because like there's there's episodes where he's crossed over with the Justice League. There's
yes,
there's stuff that including the new Batman Adventures from 1997. You know what I mean, with Batman, Harley, all that. And like I don't know, man, like he also
did he ever
appear
cross over with the Teen Titans? Did that ever happen?
I don't think that one happened. It should have, but I don't think that one happened. It wasn't Teen Titans was a little later. Teen
Yeah.
Titans wasn't
Okay.
2000. Like you got to remember Teen Titans was later on. Um but I don't think it was 2000. But he also appeared so so there's two different episodes. In the Static Shock show, when Batman and then a separate one with Justice League and Batman, and then there's an episode where he goes into the future and it's like Batman Beyond. You know what I'm saying? Crosses over
Yeah.
Batman Beyond. And then in a Batman Beyond episode, they have they have him as a active member, excuse me. They have him as an
Oh,
active member of the Justice League in that show in an episode.
yeah.
So I think they did the best because they did crossovers while it was coming out and current, like, oh, here's the Justice League now, and then they do him go into the future, and then they do when Batman Beyond comes out or whatever, they do a look at the present future of like him actually, because when he goes to the future, he's still young. You know what I'm saying? In
Yeah,
his show, but in the Batman Beyond episode, he's older.
and beyond.
He's older in the
Yeah.
Justice League. So I just think they did such a good job making him work, and I think it's also because Static Shock was such a well received cartoon. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like
Mhm.
everybody fucking loved it. So I don't know. I think Static Shock was probably like the goat of like at least the superhero wise. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like
Mhm.
I think superhero animated wise, Static Shock probably was the king of crossovers. But there's a lot of other good like you said. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like the ones you named were like great examples of non superhero crossovers.
Or I'll even throw in the what was it? The Jetsons meet the Flintstones back in the aughts. I think that was
Oh yeah, yeah,
actually
yeah, yeah.
and I mean Scooby Doo had a lot of I mean he's still crossing over with like the '66 Batman,
Yeah,
you know.
yeah. No,
So
you tell
like
no lies.
I mean they had Batman, Scooby Doo and the Addams Family, which was like two of my favorite things as a
Oh,
child.
dude,
Meshed into one.
a comic book that sells for decent money. There's a Scooby Doo Swamp Thing book series, and like issue one sells
Ooh.
for like a pretty penny. So
I believe that. Yeah,
yeah, like
I
Scooby
do
Doo's
believe that.
crossed over with so many different things and so many different avenues. So
I mean that. I mean when you. I mean just the fact that we. I mean I'm sorry. To me the granddaddy. It's not even a show, but like the granddaddy of all crossovers is Kingdom Hearts because you got all the Disney movies in one fucking thing. All of them.
uh that's a niche. That's a niche one.
That's a,
Cause I don't give a fuck about Kingdom Hearts. No offense. Like
no, no.
if you ask me, the king of crossovers, I would say the OG like ones would be like Freddy vs. Jason or like AVP.
Oh yeah.
Like I feel like
Oh yeah.
those were like all right, we can take two franchise like things and like mesh them
Yeah,
together.
and
And
bash
and,
them
and
together.
it worked and it's beneficial to both companies. Like
Yes.
you know what I mean? Like give or take, because the thing with AVP, same thing with Freddy vs. Jason. It didn't matter who won or law like one wins or loses.
Lost.
There on
The
after
audience won.
yeah, the audience won, but this is the thing. Both movies came out with two different fan bases just being ecstatic for their character. You know what I mean? And
Yes.
it also created new like cuz people who didn't watch Alien movies because they were only Predator fans maybe became Alien fans because they saw Alien in AVP. Or same thing with Freddy vs.
Mhm.
Jason. People who only watched Freddy who didn't watch Jason might become Jason fans because they're like, "Oh, holy shit, like I need more of this." And that's why I think it's
Yeah.
definitely not like a bad thing to do crossovers. I think the only thing you could be
No.
scared of is being like, "Oh, your character's way cooler than mine." You know? And that may happen.
Yeah. And also there are just I'm sorry. I know that a lot of the fan fiction people are going to start screaming at me for saying this, but I'm going to be brutally honest. There are some properties that just don't complement each other well. Star Wars, well, the most infamous for doing this are the fucking Star Trek fans who write their own fan fiction that shoehorn Star Trek into everything. And they have Star Trek and Harry Potter, they have Star Trek and Lord of the Rings, they have Star Trek and fucking Star Wars, which actually that one makes sense if you really stop and think about it, but I'm throwing it in there anyway. um, like there's just some properties that shouldn't be mashed together, and then there are others that are like it's completely logical. Like the AVP, that whole mashup began in the comic books almost as soon as both characters came out.
Dude, speaking of AVP, this is off topic, but have you heard the rumors?
Of Romulus?
No, of Prey 2. They,
Okay, now I'm sitting up
there,
because I
there's rumor that Prey 2 is gonna be like a Civil War movie.
ooh
So,
ooh I like
yeah,
I
I was
like
like, if
that is
that's
happy.
true, this is all speculation that I saw. I don't have any source to be like, this is happening. But I
Yeah,
think the Prey franchise could be the new Predator like move. Like just do like the early stages of Predator
do the
and
yes
like that shit
yes
was cuz man, let's be honest. Prey, I'm buying a physical copy of Prey. I wasn't going to Walmart when it got released on Blu-ray, and I also don't have a Blu-ray player. I only have a DVD VHS
yeah.
player. So if I can find it on DVD online, I'm gonna buy it, or I'm just gonna buy a Blu-ray player because I know I can watch it on Hulu, but I don't have Hulu anymore. So
Do you have an Xbox?
no, I traded it to my buddy for my iPhone.
Ooh. Yeah, and I don't think the new, well, this actually might be a good question for you. Does the newer Xboxes have a Blu-ray player included?
Well, the Xbox I traded him does, so maybe I should get my Xbox back from him.
That's true. I'm also saying this because I'm probably going to be upgrading.
Yeah, they do.
Um,
They do. Like the newest
okay,
ones,
all
yeah.
right,
I'm saying like even
yeah,
like
because
yours is even a Blu-ray player.
yeah, that's what I was saying. Like, if you
Yeah.
have an Xbox,
But
that's not a problem. But
the thing is though, it's cheaper to buy. So I could be wrong. Actually, I think this is only a PlayStation thing, so never mind. I know the PlayStations have a discless PlayStation model that's cheaper
ooh,
than the like you buy everything digitally.
but I don't like that because, like,
I mean, dude, let's be honest though. Everything needs a fucking download to play the game anyway, though.
yeah, fair.
Uh, I get it though. I
My
get it. I like
problem,
physical
yeah,
media. I like physical media, but let's be honest. Every game you buy now, you have to download something to play it. Let's be fucking
yeah.
honest.
Like the disc is just the install, like the fucking Microsoft shit used to be, you know?
Yeah. And then like you gotta download all the DLC and all that shit. Like
Yeah,
so
loot boxes. Yeah,
yeah, you know what I mean? So it is what it is. But yeah, I'm hella excited if Prey 2 is a thing. I have no actual
yes.
idea. The first one was so
Uh,
fucking good.
I do know that I'm gonna watch Alien Romulus when that's released.
Yeah, they're doing
But Prey
practical
2. Oh
face suckers
yes,
or whatever for
the face huggers. Yes,
yeah,
I saw test shots that they
of
had
it crawling around.
released.
Yeah,
Yeah,
so yeah, it was going viral. Um, yeah, it looks sick. So I'm very excited for that. I think
yeah.
Emma wants to actually go see that. So, is it coming out in theaters?
Dude,
Or is it releasing on like?
uh, not sure.
I'd go see that in theaters.
It is. Yeah, it is a alien film released in IMAX. Oh yeah, it's coming out in IMAX.
Okay. Yeah, maybe I'll go see that with her.
Yeah.
Make it a bow tie event. Go get dinner
Oh
and
yeah.
I fucking hate regular movie theaters now, I ain't gonna lie. Bow tie ruined movies for me. My dad took me to go see Oppenheimer off an edible at a bow tie theater and it changed my life.
Dude, I went to go. I was when Ted came out. Me and my cousin were in Florida, so we were gonna go see it in the movie theater. Sold out, obviously. So I think we went to go see Savages, and I just remember they were like, hit a
Oh,
button when your drink is empty.
I forgot about that fucking movie. What a difference in picks of movies going from Ted to Savages.
Savages, yeah,
Isn't
I
that the
know,
one where like
right?
the two guys are banging the same chick and they're like
Yes, Yes.
like heist motherfuckers. Yeah, and Ted's a
And
comedy.
they had like a shit ton of pot, and like it started out as like a comedy, but then turned into like a crime drama like
Yeah,
halfway through, and
yeah, it was an action
like,
drama. Like,
but I just remember like getting like a rum and coke, taking it to my thing, and they're like, "Yeah, when you need refill, just hit the button, and one of the attendants will." I was just
almost,
like, "Holy shit, really?"
nah,
We're
dude. I remember they brought me my food as like
as yeah,
not as the movie was starting, but as the trailers were rolling. And I was just like, yo, this is crazy. I'm eating a veggie burger with
yes,
like a like Diet Coke. Like, this is insane. And I say cherry Diet Coke because they give you the cherry in the Coke. Like,
yes,
and I was just like, they had calamari popcorn and shit too. I was like, what the fuck,
yeah.
yo? Like, this is insane. I definitely recommend if you can go to like a bow tie cinema or something, anybody, like, definitely do it.
That's Cinebistro.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I think Cinebistro, I think it's, oh yeah, bow tie is the normal movie theater.
Bowtie's the movie
Yeah,
land. Yeah,
Cinebistro is what it's called.
Cinebistro. Yes. I equate Cinebistro to movie theaters as to what flying in the '60s was for flying. Like you get the full fucking experience. It's like a relic
You
of
just
the
can't
the
smoke.
old days. Yeah,
Yeah.
yes, you just don't have a fucking cloud of smoke. Like,
Everybody was smoking cigarettes on a plane back
oh
then.
my god, dude. Yeah, and in the movie theaters too.
Yeah. Dude, that's what's like the hardest thing about watching Boardwalk Empire is the amount they smoke. Like, I
Yeah.
constantly want to smoke a doink because I'm just watching them chief cigarettes down. Like, that was the same problem I had with season 1 of True Detective. Matthew McConaughey is just pounding cigs, and I'm just like, yo, like, I never wanted a cigarette more in my life after quitting after than watching those shows. No, Peaky Blinders, fucking, they smoke hella cigarettes in Peaky Blinders. Like,
Yes. Yeah. Dude, the one that did it for me was Sons of Anarchy because every time they would be drinking bourbon and doing shots and drinking and
yeah,
shit, and I'm just like, this show makes me want to do bad things.
yeah, no, I get it. It's like when I watch One Piece, like we'll watch like 5 episodes, and if Sanji, the
Yes.
cook, is involved, he always has a cigarette in his mouth, and I'm just like, man, he's always smoking. This is like, so it's just funny as shit to me. But Sons was bad about it too.
Yes.
Sons is like as bad as True Detective because they're smoking cigs inside too.
Mm.
Like, they're just
Hmm.
pounding, like, and they're smoking cigars too and shit. So it's like you said, they're just pounding. I mean, same with Matthew McConaughey. He's just pounding beers and smoking cigs inside of the fucking detective's office, like telling this story, and it's just like, yo, what the
Yeah.
fuck?
What? Like, the
This is not a beer, everybody. This is a liquid death.
no Liquid Death. Does that show take place in the '70s, '80s, or is it like modern
What?
time?
What? True Detective?
True
No,
Detective.
it's like modern
Yeah.
times, early 2000s.
Okay.
Well,
Okay.
I
All
think
right.
it.
So yeah, right.
I think it technically is like a flashback to like the '90s, early 2000s, and it's like 2000, like
Okay.
8 or like 10 or something, or like that. Because he's basically getting interviewed on what happened, and like,
Okay.
and he's like
So
retelling
it's all like, yeah.
That's like, yeah. So, season 2 was all right. It was pretty good. The ending made me sad, actually. Uh, and season 3 I haven't really started. So
Yeah. That's the one with
what's
Jodie
his
Foster, right?
with who?
Jodie Foster?
Maybe I know it has Marshall Ali or whatever.
Okay. Yeah,
That was
yeah.
like one of his big breaks. He plays the flashback of the detective. The detective is on a true crime show telling his story. And when he's like flashing back, it's Marshall Ali or whatever his name is, the guy playing
Ali.
Blade. I'm pretty sure it's him as the detective. And he plays a really good, like, He plays really good role in that. Like he should have been in The Wire type shit if The Wire came out now. Like he would
Yeah.
play a really good detective. Like yeah, I'm very excited to see him play Blade though. Like
Yes.
if it happens.
I just if it happens, and I will know. It's not. I will know. I will get excited more if I knew who was sitting in the director's chair for that. Because
I think we'll know soon enough cuz I think they
I
have
hope
like I
so.
think they have a possible name floating around. I'm not sure what his name is, but I'm pretty sure I saw a possible person floating that. So, I think we'll know soon enough though. I think Marvel knows people are on the fence and I think they know he's on the fence about it at this point. So, they got to make
Yeah.
something shake and make people a little bit more comfortable. So, hopefully we'll know
They got a
soon.
shit or yeah, they got a shit or get off the pot.
Yeah, 100 fucking percent. Like that is literally the name of the game right now, and I kind of am one of those people who need because I'm really excited for
Yeah.
this movie. I've been very excited. Like you know what I mean. Like this is something like like me, Jerry, and everybody bought tickets for Deadpool. I'm very excited. Me, Chris, and Jerry are gonna go see Deadpool opening night, 10 fucking o'clock at night, dude.
Yeah.
Like, um, so that's the same thing with Blade. When Blade gets released and the tickets go out for sale, good or bad news, I'm buying a ticket to that fucking movie.
Yep.
Because I was not able to see Blade #1 with uh fucking Wesley
With
Snipes
Wesley.
when it came
Yep.
out, so I'm trying to live that. You know what I mean? I'm trying to see hopefully Blade like bring an uproar and goodness to the Marvel universe. And I just want to see him like start because if he's good, dude, then hopefully we just start seeing Blade appear in a bunch of different shows and movies. And like, who the fuck doesn't
Yeah.
want that? Like, you know what I mean? Like that would be fucking sick.
Yeah. And it brings a completely different element to whatever like property he shows up because like you're gonna have that touch of the supernatural with him no
Yeah,
matter
no,
what.
exactly.
You
Like when
know?
he shows up in the Miles comics, like before Blood Hunt, he gave him like a supernatural suit upgrade and like a power and everything.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I'm definitely hoping this works out. I'm very excited. Also, we forgot to announce everybody. If you're here on Spotify, you're good to go. But if you're on YouTube, make sure you follow us on Spotify at BrainDeadXTV if you're into House of Dragons because on Monday, Tuesday, we're gonna be releasing recap pods on the most current episode that released that Sunday.
Yeah.
So by the time this is out,
Yep.
that will be out as well. You know what I mean? So, but
Yes.
it's only
Yeah.
releasing on
Be-
Spotify. So,
Yes.
I mean, maybe I'll put it on YouTube. We'll see. But I feel like it's more of a Spotify thing. But just letting you guys know, we're not going to talk about House of Dragon here. We're going to be talking about it on its own separate.
We're gonna be talking about it over there. Yeah.
So I just want to let
And
everybody
that
know.
Uncle Juju is preparing. He has dusted off his Game of Thrones. He's put in his fucking audiobook of House of the Dragon. I am prepared.
Hell yeah. I'm here to just be like, they all need name tags.
Yeah, dude, do you do that in certain shows where it's like, fuck, I don't know your name, you're top knot, or you're
Yeah,
douchebag, or
you're
you're
a fuck
ass
boy.
face, you know?
Yeah, I was about to
Yeah,
say. You know how many different shows if somebody's name has just been fuck boy to me? Like, I'm like, dude, get the fuck out of here.
uh, before we get off, though, I gotta tell you, I started watching the show too last night. Black Sails. I don't know
Oh,
if you watched it or
I've
not,
been
but
told
you
it.
should.
I've been told it's good, and it's about pirates, right?
Yes,
So it's
it's about
right. So
pirates, and
so it's right up my fucking alley.
it is basically a prequel to Treasure Island with
Okay.
famous pirates.
All right.
And mm, there's no supernatural. It's played very straight, very matter of fact. It is probably one of the things that I like about this show that they don't do in other things, and Pirates of the Caribbean is notorious for doing this, Pirates were not stupid. I always hate that interpretation of stupid pirates because these guys were smart. They knew what they were doing. They were hitting these merchant ships. They were using tactics that had never been invented or used
Yeah,
before.
yeah.
These guys knew what they were doing. They were professionals. And not only that, but they had democracy, they had sharing, they had, law and order to a certain extent on a ship. In Pirates of the Caribbean, they're just like, oh, what's an astronomer? And it's like, dude,
Yeah.
pirates were not idiots.
Yeah. So Black Sails is
Like,
good though. It's on Netflix,
oh
right?
yes, yes, I highly recommend it. I gave it the three show rule, and so far I have not been disappointed.
3 episodes.
Yeah.
Hell yeah. All right. Well, I'll definitely give it a shot. It was on my list anyway. Fuck yeah, dudes. Well, this was a quick pod. I'm glad we could all chop it up and have fun. Make sure you follow us on Spotify, and if you already are, good for you. And if you're on YouTube, just make sure you subscribe and like, and make sure you follow us on Twitch at brain.xtv. We do a live pod every Friday and Saturday at 12 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. And yeah, follow the Whatnot too if you want to get plugged up. You know what I'm saying? Fried
Yeah.
Rainy, FRIEDRAINI. Fried Rainy, got comic books for sale. Tap in, follow Discord, all that. And remember, never offended, always recommended. Later, my dudes.